tell you a little bit about Phoseon, our background. We're the world leader in UV LED curing. We started back in 2002. We've got hundreds of patents. We've shipped over 100,000 light sources worldwide. It's our expertise. We have 70,000 hours of lifetime on our light sources, which we can demonstrate, and we've saved millions of tons of CO2. So then it kind of asks the question when you talk about one of the questions that was raised earlier about your own carbon footprint as a company. Do we also include what we're achieving elsewhere in terms of our net carbon footprint? Because obviously we have a carbon footprint, but our technology is going into applications where we're saving maybe 70, 80, 90% of the energy costs. So maybe we're in effect, we've got a negative carbon footprint ultimately, if we take all our process into account from beginning to end. I mean, I don't know if that's quite possible, if that makes sense, but do you know what I mean? At some point, we're giving out, we're sequestering more than we're actually using by enabling technologies that use a lot less energy ultimately.
Reducing them.
Yeah, so that's fine. So a little bit about us, with all of us, we're all talking about corporate responsibility, how does sustainability fit in, and you've got to start at the beginning. So, if you're not doing it internally, you're not going to achieve anything. So, but that's only a small part of it, as been pointed out. And what the other thing that what I've noticed very much now is that how we're more and more when we're getting involved with meetings, when we're looking at how we're going to implement our technology across, corporate-wide in some cases, people who are getting involved are directors of sustainability, that, you're not just talking to the CEOs, you're not just talking to the R&D people, you're actually talking, quite often there's a sustainability director there as well now. So that's kind of a new thing that we're seeing a lot of. So we see that, all these companies here, they've all got goals. And it's not just a question anymore of fancy statements in your corporate brochure. You've got to be seen to be actually doing things. People are holding you accountable for this. So you need to be putting solutions in place that are actually effective. So sustainability, and our technology is sustainable, but it's the only sustainable UV curing technology. There's no mercury, which is also an important part of the environmental consideration, with no greenhouse gases, and we significantly reduce energy costs. And that's one of the big things. And especially at the moment where we're seeing huge increases in energy costs, we're seeing a huge increase in interest in LED technology as well. So we're members of the Sustainable Packaging Coalition as well. We're one of the founding members. So how do we define sustainable packaging? So in their own website, they define it as being beneficial, safe, and healthy for individuals and communities throughout its life cycle. It meets market criteria for both performance and cost. It's sourced, manufactured, transported, and recycled using renewable energy, optimizes the use of renewable or recycled source materials, is made from materials that are healthy throughout the life cycle, is manufactured using clean production technologies and best practices, that's where we come in, is physically designed to optimize materials and energy, and is efficiently recovered and utilized in a biological and or industrial closed-loop cycle. So I don't know how many of you people are involved in this coalition for sustainable packaging, but I urge you to have a look at it and maybe get involved. Certainly at Lil Packaging, this might make a lot of sense for you guys as well to have a look at. So I'm not even going to take 5 minutes, Marcus, right? So what we're doing is we're looking at what the LED benefits compared to mercury systems. And in terms of pollution prevention, we're using, or our customers are emitting 50 to 80% less CO2. There's basically minimal waste. It's very eco-friendly. Energy savings up to 80%, 90% in some cases, if we're looking at some processes like, we're packaging is one side of our business. We have we do an awful lot of work in things like fiber optics and wood coatings, and medical devices and all other things, but we're saving vast amounts of energy in all these areas. And there's no mercury, which was also a very important point. So sustainability, waste reduction. So conventional mercury lamps have very short life, so they're constantly running out of their operating parameters, so they have to be replaced all the time. So you've got issues on landfill, you've got issues on products that don't meet the specifications, so you may have low migration printing processes that are going out of spec. LED technologies will stay stable for many, for tens of thousands of hours. So that's, we have a particular application where we had to, we swapped out over 200 light sources within a production facility. And we had to guarantee that those light sources over 3 years wouldn't drop by more than 30% of their output. 5.5 years later, they've still less than 10% reduction in output after 5.5 years. So it really does have longevity, and it's a good ROI and investment. In terms of environmentally sustainable products, at Phoseon we're fully committed to the well-being of the environment. We continuously work to improve our environmental footprint. If any of you have ever been to Oregon, Oregon is a very green state in the U.S. So, they're very conscious of their environmental impact. So we have been and always have been a very eco-friendly and green company. So just a little bit about us. No pictures of our lamps, nothing. Hey,